Howdy ho, Andrew here. Welcome to the Onion Buns. Welcome to another episode of Thrilling Adventures in IT and Hospitality. This week's episode is Who Ya Callin'? But before we get to that, here's a quick message. Hey all, just a quick mention here. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment on the videos you like. It helps with the YouTube algorithm, which helps me. Takes 2 seconds. So thanks in advance. All right then. So I'm working in this restaurant as a waiter, and my shift's over, and I go in the lounge with some buddies, and we're drinking, we're having a good time, playing darts, playing pool, whatever, and we're feeling no pain, happy, joyful, intoxicated. And a fight in the lounge breaks out between this guy named Colin, a regular, and some other guy. And they go at it, and it gets broken up, and they go outside and they go at it again. And then they both disappear. And about 20 minutes later, in walks these two RCMP, or maybe they were city cops. They might have been city cops. Anyway, and they come walking in. Now, one of them he was like, I'm going to say he was about 5'8". He was built like he was he's probably 5'8", around 200 pounds. So, he's not a pushover, but still, I find short people, they have this, I like to call it short person complex, where they have to be uber aggressive, overcompensate for everything because of their height. And I think that's partially what we were dealing with here. Now, the other part is we were being absolute pricks. Make no mistake about it. We were being pricks. And if I had to redo this nowadays, I would never do this. Our conduct was completely unacceptable. But we were, I think, like I said before, I think I was about 22 years old at this time. So, yeah, who cares? It's like we're just obnoxious 20-somethings drunk on top of it. And yeah, so the cops come in and, they're like asking questions, which they're supposed to do. What's going on? Who started it? Blah, blah, blah. And then they start asking about Colin, the regular. He's like, so does anyone know where Colin is? And all of a sudden the bar looks up. Who ya calling? And you can see the short cop getting aggravated by this. And they ask again, where's Colin? And the bar replies, who ya calling? And the short cop, he comes over and he pushes the jukebox, makes it skip. He's like, I want to know where Colin is. Who ya calling? And he is angry. And he gets up and he starts getting in the face of people, and everyone's just back-mouthing him and being sarcastic, and just, oh my God, what a shitty job he must have having to deal with idiots like us. And that was pretty much the end of it. But it's like I said, at 22 years old, I thought this was frickin' hilarious. At 59 years old, yeah, not so much. I mean, we were being pricks, and they're trying to do their job, and you don't have to be a prick to him. You really don't. He's just trying to do his job. Yeah, he didn't have to push the jukebox, and yeah, he didn't have to get in the face, but as I said, short man complex or short person complex. They overdo everything. They're super aggressive. They overcompensate because of their height. And I really do think that was pretty much the majority of it. Is like we were back talking him, and he was getting angry. And, this was the way he dealt with it. I've seen lots of short people do this, to be honest, over the years. They're just, their stature may be down here, but they're operating up here where, it's like a previous story I told you about my horrible boss, Chico. 5'6", and he's poking his arm through my arm and chest to poke this rig pig in the chest who's like 6'5", and I'm like, oh, Christ. Short man complex. He's hiding behind me, but he still wants to act tough. So yeah, I don't blame the cop anymore. I got buddies that still do. They still think the cop was completely out of control and wrong. I don't. I think We were being pricks. He reacted to us being pricks. Is what it is. But still, it makes me laugh to hear, who you calling? Like, it turns out Colin was just in his vehicle in the parking lot waiting for the cops to leave so he could come back in and start drinking again. So anyway, that's my story for this week. If you like the video, leave a like, a subscribe, and a share. A like, a subscribe, and a share does me wonders, and I do appreciate it. I always feel free to leave a comment. I encourage people to leave a comment. It gets us interacting, and it really does help me with the YouTube algorithm. And as always, pew, 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 and shit. Thanks for watching. Bye.